Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Why You Know Game discussion. And this time, what we're talking about a game that you will likely be hearing me talk about later today on my channel, which is Rokko Chan, or it might be actually Rokko Chan. I never actually thought about it, but it could have been meant to be pronounced as Rokko Chan. Either way, it's a fan game inspired by Mega Man at current. That was a flash-based game. Unfortunately, it is no longer available to be played on the web, but some people have preserved and saved it. So it is now available to be downloaded and played directly on your computer. But you will need, if you want to have the most authentic Mega Man-esque experience with this game, supplementary software like G.I.G, because the game does not allow you to bind keys directly within it. I mean, bind controller buttons directly within it. That all said, the creator of Dear Rokko Chan actually wants to remake the game and put it up for sale on like PC and such, and I am in full support of it. King Sutoku, I think is how it's pronounced, Sutoku. I think a year or two ago, I'm not looking directly at it right now, but it'll be up on the screen while you guys are watching the video. He said that he would like to bring his game to Steam and put it up for sale, and I am all for it, because honestly, I made the video that it should have been put on the 3DS like a couple years back. I think it was one of my last 3DS game ideas videos, because honestly, it would have been great. And I think he would have to rework the game in the Unity engine, like he did for the multiplayer aspect that he put on his website. Because the main game was flash-based and the multiplayer variant was available through Unity. Both of those browser extensions, well, at least for Chrome, is not allowed. I think you can still play the multiplayer on like Firefox and Opera and stuff. You may be able to. I'm not sure. I think Microsoft Edge you can as well. I don't know if they work with Unity's web extension anymore. I haven't checked, so forgive me on that. But to get down to the nitty-gritty and the actual idea, and somebody's probably already predicting this, but again, I would like for the game to remain largely intact. Go ahead and rework it through Unity. If possible, maybe take Francia and Lancia and make them standard bosses to be able to fight them with their own stages separate, and then when you get to the first area of Dr. Mad's tower, then you fight them as a pair, and then they come back again individually during the rematches. That would be a nice addition to it. Not something that's required, but I think that would just be nice to have, because they're the only two bosses in that game that you don't really see. Well, I mean, they're the only two regular sized bosses that you don't see multiple times, whereas the others you do. And plus, it would be nice to see what weapons you would get from them. And this also plays into the idea that you guys are going to hear later if you're listening into the Cross Zone episode 13 later tonight on my channel. So I'm telling you now, you may want to come back and listen into that, because it's going to be a little extensive. That said, yeah, keep the game largely the same, add in a couple more bosses, which would mean a couple more stages, which extends the length of the game a little bit. Keep all of the modes that you added in, which were great as they were, and your online ranking system, but then make the multiplayer mode available for everyone. Put it in the game as its own component where you can have localized and online based arena multiplayer with the different variants of Rokko Chan utilizing the different weapons. But I think maybe for the multiplayer, just make her colors be standardized and then allow you to either collect or swap the weapons on the fly. So that way it adds a little bit of strategy to the multiplayer. Because you may just get stuck with one particular color of her and one weapon, and that might not be how your place, it might not be conducive to your playstyle. Or even expand it so that you can use the bosses as individual characters as well, and just allow her to be able to change and swap between weapons and have limited use of them like she would have in the main game. I think that all of that would be very much beneficial to spreading the word of it, and potentially might make him enough money that he could actually get back on that project of making the 3D version of Rokko Chan and actually continue with that project. Because I would love to see this become a thing where it could be a franchise that potentially could rival the popularity of the classic Mega Man series, should it actually be released in a playable format for sale with some, again, additions to the game to want to extend it, which would differentiate it from its free version that people can find and download now. And if you do have a PC and you have not played this, I'm telling you, if you are a Mega Man fan, you will love this game. You owe it to yourself to sit down and give it a go. And honestly, if more people were to show gameplay and to be talking about it, it may just give him the push he needs to go ahead and actually put this out. So that's it for today's discussion. If you'd like to say anything else, or I mean, not if you'd like to say anything else, if anyone has any comments that they'd like to add, please do. Definitely would want to hear them. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for listening, and keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your game. Peace out, everybody.